Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Let me first say shout out to Keller C1. Keller, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Miss Goldie Robinson, thank you for being here. Anthony Bearer, thank you for being here. Nova, LW, Roxy Jojo, LW again, Rising Phoenix. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers out there, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, the truck driver, the long-distance truck drivers especially. Shout out to my brother Troy Star's trucking vlogs on YouTube. Go support my brother's channel, man, and hit the subscribe button and tell him that SouFLoTV sent you. That's Troy Star's trucking vlogs on YouTube. Madayana people, good morning, good morning. Shout out to every clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. I have the utmost respect for you as well. Here we are. I missed you. I missed you on Monday morning. I missed you on Tuesday morning, but here we are. Happy hump day, baby. Get up, get out, and get it up. Up, right? Here we are. Boy, things get saucy. Things get saucy. We got two topics on the table this morning that we want to talk about. So we want to talk about the Majah Hype Kirby interview. Majah Hype, the entertainer, Majah Hype, the comedian Majah Hype. You know the whole stuff with this girl that he was with before, this female, this woman that he was with before that we call Kirby, or her name is Kirby. Okay. Y'all, if you're familiar with the whole hoopla that went on before, well, Kirby went on Tasha K, and I left a message out there and I said, please, to my audience, go watch that interview in full. Once you watch the interview, then this live right here will be well worth it, because then we can talk, because we both seen and heard the same things. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kirby, her intentions with that interview, and all that other stuff that she said. Boy, Kirby, some. Anyways, and we're going to talk about Derrick Chauvin. Derrick Chauvin was found guilty. Derrick Chauvin is the police officer, Minneapolis police officer that was seen around the world kneeling on George Floyd's neck, the man we now know as George Floyd. And George Floyd died in front of the world for the world to see. It was police brutality at its finest. It was the most blatant act of police brutality we had ever witnessed, and the world was watching, right? Because we live in a day and age now where you have this, and you hook up to the internet and go live, people on the other side of the globe can see in real time. So everybody saw it. And then, of course, the video footage went viral after, because George Floyd did pass away. So the trial has ended. Derrick Chauvin has been found guilty. He has been found guilty on all 3 counts. I don't understand how they do the counts. I don't understand how you get found guilty 3 times for killing 1 person, but his charges are 2nd-degree unintentional murder, guilty. 3rd-degree murder, guilty. 2nd-degree manslaughter, guilty. All right. Everybody is celebrating right now. Yes, 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 he's found guilty. Justice for George Floyd and all this other stuff. Okay. We're celebrating because it is some kind of a justice for George Floyd. It is landmark, as in, this will probably send a message to others in uniform, that type of policing, you can possibly be held. Not that you will be, you can possibly be held accountable for what you did. And you can be sent to prison, right? Bailey's and I says, bye, Dereck. Yes. Did you see the look on his face when the verdict was read? The look on his face. That look said, white privilege has failed me. I stood up for you and you failed me. Systemic racism driven by white privilege has failed me. I stood up for you when you failed me. That was the look on his face, like there's no way, no possible way. Guilty? Me? I'm a cop. I'm a white man that's a cop. The victim was a black guy. Guilty? I saw that look on his face and it felt good seeing that look on his face. I only wish there was no mask so we could actually see, because I can tell under the mask that his mouth went open. It would have made it look even more dramatic. But the mask was covering it up, right? So all you saw was the eyes. Here what? We're celebrating, right? We're out in the streets. The people are celebrating. They're saying, yay, justice. Yes, all things Tony Ann. He thought his white privilege was going to save him. He really did. And not only his white privilege, but his wall, that what they call it, the blue wall or the blue wall of silence. He thought that was going to save him. So white privilege was going to save him and back him up. And then the blue wall of silence was going to save him and back him up. And they both failed him. In this instance, the blue wall of silence could not save him. And white privilege did not give a damn about him because he was just another pawn in the grand scheme of things. In the plot to divide and conquer, he was just another ploy. He doesn't even realize that. Here he is. He's going to prison. I only hope he's going to have a rough time in prison. He's going to have a rough time in prison. And I only hope that for his sake, that he is probably going to be put in segregation. Has to be. And it's going to be rough being in segregation because segregation is like solitary confinement. And you know, that takes a toll on your mental health after a while. But who am I to care so much about somebody who did not give a damn about kneeling on another human being's neck? Forget the fact that George Floyd was black and that Dereck was white. Who has pity for someone getting time that did that? That was plain murder in front of everybody. One of the sad things is that it took so long to even charge him. It took so long to even charge this guy. People had to march in the streets and the thousands and hundreds of thousands. You know, all that drama that went on after it, it took forever. And that tells you a lot about where we're at today as far as that relationship with black people and the system. As far as that goes, that tells us where we're at. Had there not been a video there, Chauvin would have walked. Had there not been a videotape of what he did, he would have walked. And he would have just been just another case of, well, black man interaction with police officer. He got out of control. We felt our life was in danger. So he ended up dying that way. And it would have been justified and it would have been swept under the rug. The president, Joe Biden, gave a speech yesterday, and I listened to the speech after the verdict was read. I had never really heard a president speak up that much on behalf of black people, but went in that deep. He spoke specifically, and he wasn't mincing words and saying some people. You know, he said the plight of the African American in the United States of America. It is disgusting. It is disgraceful. It has to stop. It's been happening. And he even went as far as to say, no, honestly, I was surprised because I don't really believe in politicians because they all lie. That's the politician game. But watching him speak, listening to what he said, I thought to myself, wow, maybe there might be some systemic change or systematic changes put in place. He said that it's not just for George Floyd, because there are countless others who died the same way and nothing came of it. To hear him say that, I was like, what? He recognizes this? He is saying that up there? Okay, all right, Joe. Now start putting some, and Kamala that is her field. So now let's start putting some things in place on a systemic level so that it rolls downhill. Otherwise, that's all it's going to be, right? And people are celebrating. They're celebrating, and I don't want to burst your bubble yet, your celebration bubble, but I want to tell you this. That was an incident that they could not deny. The world saw it. The world was watching. The world was ridiculing the United States of America. And you know how America is. They like to make, America likes to make itself look good on the world stage. So contrary to popular belief, they don't care what others think. They do. The world saw that. And they had no choice but to say, okay, guilty, because there's no way we could cover it up. There's no way we could hide it. They took that long to prosecute him because they wanted to give him enough time to sit with his attorneys, to sit with his fellow officers, to create a scenario, to come up with some kind of way that you could possibly walk away from this. And when that deadline hit, did y'all come up with a way yet? Because we're going to court now. Nah, we're rolling with what we have because nothing else works. I mean, it's all there on video, right? So they had to find him guilty. But chill with the celebrating for a minute. Where they always get us at is in court. Yes, tried. Yes, convicted. Now let's see what the sentencing will be. Remember Geiger? The female officer named Geiger. Well, Geiger was her last name. And Botham Jean. Do y'all remember that case? Because we seem to like forget stuff so quickly. I guess because it happens to us so much that the next day it's like, oh damn, another one. By the way, yesterday a 16 or 15-year-old girl called the police, and I saw the video. She called the police because she needed help. She ended up dead. There was a white officer standing over a black girl's body right after the verdict of the Derrick Chauvin was read and he was found guilty. So don't think this is going to stop. Here is a man, a grown man, police officer, and he's standing there and this black teenage girl is laying on the floor dead from a gunshot from him. Oh, she tried to stab me. So it's still going on, even while that verdict was being read. So don't get too happy yet. On top of that, though, where they get us at is in sentencing. They will come, if you notice, right, his charges, first-degree murder. That's not on the books. If first-degree murder was on the books and he was found guilty of first-degree murder, I would be celebrating because that is what we saw in front of us on that video. It's first-degree murder. Second degree is what he got. Third degree and manslaughter. Now, if you go look up second degree and manslaughter, you will realize that I believe there's a 10-year, 15-year, something like that. They're saying that he is facing up to 40 years. It's not going to happen. They're not going to look at him and give him 40 years. They're going to give this man way less than 40 years. I promise you. They're not going to give him even 20 years. It is my bet that the most he will get is 10 to 15. And I'm sure with good behavior, he will quietly slide out of there in half that time. Want to bet? They already gave you the guilty verdict. Get off the streets now. Stop crowding up the streets and protesting. You got your guilty verdict. So I saw people yesterday saying stuff like, you know, they only gave him a guilty because the crowds were out in the streets and they're tired of the rioting and they don't want, of course, you can guess what type of person was saying this, right? They only found him guilty because they don't want the crowds in the streets anymore. And people were threatening violence and they were going to tear this country apart and they want to keep this country together. So they found him guilty. I don't think that's why they found him guilty. They don't give a damn about what we could tear apart because guess what? We have never been a threat. We have never been a threat other than the threat that they have made us or perceived us to be. That threat is driven by how they were raised. Somebody told them, Stay away from black people. Black guys, they want to rape black women or they want to be with black women, and they will dirty your gene pool. And stay away from, and they're lazy and they're ghetto dwellers and they're underachievers, or they're, ever since we stopped working for free, plantation style, we've been labeled lazy. No more free labor, so we're lazy. But these are the things that they're told growing up, and it's driven by that. They've never been afraid of us. So they sure as hell was not going to find a police officer guilty. Let's get it straight, a white male police officer in a place like Minneapolis, they were not going to find him guilty for the death of a black man, the killing, the murder of a black man, say it for what it is. They weren't going to find him guilty just on the premise that, oh, the blacks are going to riot. We are easily contained. Did y'all see how when they stormed the Capitol? When they stormed the Capitol, did you see police response? No. Now look at when we protest out in the streets. Even when there's peaceful protest, they come out in numbers, they roll the tanks down the road. That's a show of force. That is to tell you that if you cough the wrong way, it's lights out for you. That's intimidation. That's to let us know that you're surrounded. So we're allowing you to just go ahead and do your little protest thing in this area, this space. They're not afraid of us. Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs. Good morning, my brother. See, Troy's right here. People, it's Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. He's right here. He says, morning, SouFLo, respect always. Up, up, up. I hope all is well with you, my brother. I know you're probably out there getting it in, doing your thing. Manners and respect to you as well. So they didn't give them that verdict because of that. They're not afraid of us. But I guarantee you, he's not going to get anywhere close to 40 years. Now, if he does, then you will see me show up on here. I'll probably be wearing a tutu, and I'll probably be blowing one of those, one of them something there, and acting like it's a party with a party hat on. If they give him 40 years. Because that's the least they should give him. See, when it comes to murder, I believe this. This is my personal belief. If you take the life of someone that's 60 years old, then I think you should do no less than 60 years in prison. If you take the life of someone that is 45 years old, then I think you should do no less than 45 years in prison. That should be your minimum base. That is paying back your debt in some kind of way. You can never bring the person back, but it's a slap in the face of justice for someone. Think about this. For someone to take the life of someone, say someone is 40 years old. You take the life of someone that's 40 years old, that has a family around them, that depend on them, that has children, small children that they're raising. This person was not violent towards you. You take away a person's life, and they're 40 years old. Imagine getting 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. That's a slap in the face of justice for me. So I believe that he should get the minimum of how old George Floyd was when he passed on paper in prison. It ain't gonna happen though. They give him 7 years. Really appreciate your time. Thank you, Patrick Hunter, man. I appreciate you coming here. And Rising Phoenix says they don't have to be afraid of us. We only destroy each other. And they know that as well. And that is very true. They know that because it is designed like that. That wheel has been set in motion. And then that wheel now has taken on a life of its own. So not to blame anybody else, because we've known about the wheel. We've known about the design for a very long time now. So how many generations more are we going to keep saying, oh, we blame them, and I blame slavery? And you know what the problem is. So it's for us to pull it together, right? It's for us to pull it together because we already know what the problem is. Stop blaming, and actually get up and do. There's simple things that we can do that we just do not do. For instance, when somebody says, hit them in the pockets, they understand money, economics, that's where it hurts. For the next week or the next 2 weeks, only shop here, only buy this, don't support that. And if you show up the next day and the day after and the day after, you'll see black people in droves in the same places getting their stuff. I don't give a damn about none of that. Don't have nothing to do with me. Raji got the hookup. Shababa got the prices. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm shopping. Miss Chen, she be knocking, she be doing my nails like something fierce. That's where I'm going. I don't care about no, and we are easily bought and sold. So yes, it is up to us. It ain't up to them. Really appreciate your time. We need, somebody says they gave him 7 years. Apple Cider, did they give him 7 years, or are you guessing that they are going, because things develop quickly. I don't know. I don't think they would have already given him years from being found guilty yesterday, right? So I'm guessing that you are guessing that they're going to give him 7 years. All things Tony Ann says exactly. We can never stick together for a cause. That is why it will never change. Yes, black people are divided, so divided. We're divided by class because, you know, you have the uppity, I'm up here with them. Them's my people, master. You use my people. Them ain't my people. You have those way up there. They separate themselves. And then you have the ones in the middle who think I can afford a house off in the suburbs. I don't deal with ghetto dwellers and ill. They are so. And then you have those that are at the bottom, right? We're divided by class. We're divided by religion. Big time. Big time. Have you ever put a Muslim black person in a room with a Christian black person in a room with, say, and you know what? We are also the people who have some of everybody else's stuff. So we belong to every religious group there is, even stuff that has nothing to do with us in any way. And we excuse it as, I just find peace here. Hare Krishna. What Krishna have to do with you? But hey, free to worship however you please, right? Okay, we are in some of everybody's stuff. We are every religion on the face of the earth. We're divided by class. We're divided by skin shades. The darker ones don't want to talk to the lighter ones. We're divided by hair texture. Here, Napian look body. Next person says, damn, that hair look terrible. You need to do something with it. Like, yo, get a perm, catch up the kitchen, all this other stuff. Then you have, oh, he got good hair, girl. Curly hair, gonna get you some pretty babies. We're divided in all kinds of classes and all kinds of sections and cut up. And the sad thing is we cannot come together for one cause or on the basis of one cause. If all of us could put all these differences aside, whose hair is curly versus whose is nappy, as they call it, or tightly coiled to be politically correct, or who's a Muslim or who's a Jew or who's Hindu or who's Christian. If we could put all those things aside and say, look, that's my personal life, right? But I'm stepping out here and I'm joining this fight right here because we are uniting on the basis of our blackness. Some people say, don't call yourself black because you're not black. Okay, we live in a society now. Things change over time. One time gone, we were called something else. And another time we were called something else. And Africa wasn't even Africa at one point. It had a different name in the beginning, right? So here we are now where they call us black. So I'm using that for conversation's sake. So if we could just step out and say, hey, on the basis of that and that only, I'm going to unite with this cause, we would definitely see some change. We would see significant change. But there's always something to divide us. Always. And we use them to divide ourselves. So we can't blame anybody else for it. But yes, I am happy that he was found guilty. I was happy when he was charged because I didn't even think he was going to be charged. That is how sad this reality is to watch a man commit murder on camera and then know for the weeks following, well, they haven't charged him yet. They're not charging him. Damn, this is going to be like another Rodney King situation. Remember Rodney King? Some of y'all are probably too young. I don't know. Rodney King was just the other day, but that's how time flies in our life. But you remember Rodney King? Rodney King got the beats. They beat the daylights out of Rodney King, right? And they were all caught on camera. And that video, even though rest his soul, Rodney King has passed, you know, Rodney King never recovered from that beating. He had traumatic brain injury, severe post-traumatic stress after. He had mad issues. So even when they awarded him a small amount of money, which we call a lot of money because it says millions on it, he went, he bought himself a nice house, he had a pool. I believe he was found in his pool, floating face down. And a lot of people are saying, Rodney didn't kill himself. Y'all know what this is, but we're not going to go there this morning. I'm just saying. He drank a lot. He became I have to use the word severe again. He became a severe alcoholic. And then he started to develop health issues because of that severe alcoholic behavior. Like he was drinking, guzzling alcohol. And Rodney did an interview before he passed, shortly before he passed. And he said he would give an example of how much he would drink in a day and how he would start the day out, wake up in the morning and just guzzle. So he never recovered from it. But his beating was caught on tape and they walked free. So we had basis to believe that that was going to repeat itself again. So imagine living in some place like that. That is where we live. This is our reality, right? To know that Derrick Chauvin could have walked. And in the beginning, it did look like he was going to walk. So every step of victory we celebrate. Those of us who saw the Rodney King stuff and were around for it, we know now that it's possible. They walk. They can do it on camera and still get away. So when they said he's charged, we celebrated. When they said the trial is on, we started celebrating because we've seen them get charged. And then this is a whole roller coaster, you know. We've seen them get charged before, and then we've seen all charges drop. So even though they said we charged them, everybody was like, yay, but oh, wait, are they going to drop the charges? Hold still. Okay, trial has started. And remember, he was out on bail, right? So that was already getting everybody nervous. They gave him bail because they wanted him to go plan his getaway, leave something, because we're going to send you away, Dereck. We're going to give you the not guilty verdict. That's what was playing in our mind as we watched. Charged. Yay! It's going to trial. The trial has started. They're actually having a trial. Yay! Maybe, just maybe, every inch of the way for us is always just a little bit. Just one crumb off the loaf. Just a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. But that's our story. That's our struggle. All my life, I've had to fight. That's the black man's story. When I say black man, I mean black people's story in this region. So to see it actually go to trial and to see a jury, I was told that the jury that convicted him was comprised of or made up of 6 white people, 4 black persons, and 2 biracial persons. They didn't say what kind of mix, black and Asian, white and Asian, white and black, I don't know. Those are the numbers and the dynamics that were out there. All right, now he's found guilty. Yeah, another reason to celebrate. Wait, again, are they gonna give him real time? You see what I'm saying? It was, are they gonna arrest him? Are they gonna charge him? Is there really gonna be a court date? Oh, they're having a court. They're having a court session. Oh, he's found guilty. Are they going to really charge him? This is how low our faith is in this justice system when it comes to us. When it comes to us. Which also rolls over into stuff like taking this vaccine and all that. People look at the history. Smart people always look at history. History always repeats itself, especially if the victims of that history, if it was a bad history, the victims of that forget and fall right back in. So we had every right. We have every right. But here we are. Found his ass guilty. I hope they give him the max. But I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll wait to see that. All right. So on we move. Right on time. Here we are. The phone lines are open. I guess nobody wants to call in this morning, but that's cool. I'm not sweating that. I can talk it out because I got a lot to say. People! Hey, let's segue with this before we get into the Kirby stuff. There's a video that's out, right, circulating of a police officer in Jamaica. It's a high-ranking female police officer. And I didn't want to put that on the icon because, you know, I was just going to throw that in there as a bonus. So I get this video. I actually have all of them. Matter of fact, let me pull it up and see if I can show you like half of it. Have y'all seen the video? Have you seen the video of the police officer, the female police officer in Jamaica? We're getting off the George FLoyd and Derrick Chauvin stuff now. We're moving on to another topic. He's been found guilty. He's locked up. His bail has been revoked. He thought he was going to be found guilty and then get released on bail, but it didn't happen. Revoked his bail and held him, and he'll be held until sentencing, right? We got that. We got that. Have y'all seen the police officer video? The female police officer video? Yes? No? No? Percy Edwards says no. Percy, let me tell you, see, Jesus Christ. I know that one I start with a Z. Jesus Christ. Let me tell you. All right. Not yet, Andrew said. Vicky Victory said the JCF said it's not her. JCF can say whatever they want to say. I have her real picture and I have all the video clips now, right? Wifey had actually showed me or sent me, but I didn't really see hers yet. Last night, somebody sent me all of them and I just posted all of them in the chat room. Only reason I posted it in the chat room is so it can be easier for me to find when I need it. This is her. This is her. I don't care what they want to say. This is her. Up close is her. Okay? People are afraid to say that doing her thing, you know. Doing her thing. I don't know if you saw Kirby videos. She bad like I don't know if she bad like Kirby, but I'm trying to figure out how to cover what part to cover to show you. I'm trying to figure out what part to cover to show you, but I can't really find any part. So this is her. Okay, it's the same face. I have the whole face right there. All right, this is her. And when ding ding reach your face, it doesn't change how you look. It's still you. This is her. And here she is again. But I can't cover nothing. I can't cover nothing. You know, people are talking about JCF. She is saying that she's a police. So JCF is gonna definitely, especially what just happened with the police officer, the man. Remember, we're coming out one there when the man was like, the police. And she was like, "Tell me on the taste," and him said, "Like ice cream." I said, "What kind of ice cream?" And then said, "Rum and raisin." Yum it up. They didn't issue no stop sharing videos for that. They got a lot of disrespect after that. And you know how Jamaican people stay. So pardon my language for those of you with virgin ears this morning. I don't think any kids are up that should be watching or anything, but we're not gonna get too lewd. All right. But I remember them pulling over some guys. I remember one of the man them I said something like, "Yeah, correct your partner. Big suck pussy officer, that's all we do. Go around and yam girl front. You know, go chase criminal and leave hard-working people alone. I wasn't breaking the speed limit, but now do nothing. You want to drive a license registration? See it here and fling it on them." So the people were giving them no respect after. They printed this shortly after that video came out. The man said, "All the good for go around and yam front. When not chase no bad man, that's why the place stays so left innocent hard-working people alone." That's the article. Printed in the Loop. Shout out to the Loop, right? So they put this out as soon as her video drops. They put this out. Police cautions members to desist from circulating lewd images and videos. Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF personnel, have been warned by the police high command that they will be prosecuted if they are found circulating lewd images and videos, tarnishing the reputation of members of the force. In the present case, 3 senior female officers. 3? I want me know about. That means there's 2 more to come. All right, stay tuned, because I want to see the 2 more. And I am SouFLoTV. Them I'm going to drop in on my lap. I'm going to see them. All right, they're in the chat room. I feel bad for those of you who are not a part of the chat room, because you know WhatsApp only give us limited space, so I can't put everybody in there. And please don't inbox me talking about SouFLo. Send it to me. Send it to me. I get too many of those, and I'm not going to spend my day sending out this. I posted in the chat room because the chat room was created to be a place where we can post all the stuff that we discuss on YouTube, but YouTube has guidelines, so we can't post them in YouTube. All right, we can't post this on YouTube. Back in the day, old YouTube, fling up anything. I used to get on YouTube back in the day and just see brawling porn. Woman talking about with 2 legs cock up naked, talking about this is how you properly shave a vagina. And spray on her thing on razor it, and she's moving the lips and opening it. A shave, she's supposed to be shaving up. A whole video on how to shave the vajayjay on YouTube. YouTube has changed completely. Not people who are new to YouTube don't even know this. This was just the other day. So YouTube don't deal like that no more. So we can't post stuff no more. When robberies took place and somebody got shot, you could post those videos. Now, you could post some of the video. You have to cut out the shooting part. You have to cut out, you know what I'm saying? So things have changed. But anyhow, this is what they put out. And they said, in this case, 3 senior female officers. Well, we know of 1 senior female officer, and we know she's a senior female officer. Going back from here, scroll down to her face. I'm looking at her right now. We need something to cover this, because I'm off the show on this. For those of you who haven't seen it, let me see if I could. So they kind of look something. They kind of look something like blood fire. This is risky. I mean, I keep my hand over here. So here, okay. So I didn't show anything. I'm just showing you that I do have the videos. Same person. Looking at her face again. That is her. Looking at picture is right below it. I'm looking at both pictures. That is her. There's no need to say that is not her. No need to say that is not her. And then, of course, there's the video. And mirror, no, I can't show it. Can't show it. There's no way to hide it. There's no way to hide it. They are right up in the video. The thing about her, though, compared to the other police officers, is that she was not caught in her uniform. And that's another reason why I really wouldn't want to circulate that video. She wasn't caught in her uniform, but as a young head moved this. So the other officer was in government vehicle, in uniform, talking about my rum and raisin. He was way out of line. If he was doing it in his private time, then, hey, do you, man. Do you. We're all grown people. You know, everybody have them little freaky side and these kind of things. We're not new to this. We're not kids going, oh. Nothing really surprised you. You're grown folks, right? But to be caught in uniform doing it is different stuff. She was not caught in her uniform. This is obviously in a private setting. She and somebody, which begs to say this. What is up with you females who really think like when you go give away something? You don't really think, y'all don't think like somebody might be videotaping me? Because I'm sure she did not agree for this to hit public. I'm sure she didn't. And you know, sometimes a man, and we talked about this before, so a man now might go after, say, her, right? He's only going after her because of her position, who she is, right? And then freak her out. Make her do all the things them and catch it on video. And he's telling you that it's this for me, this be about my like keep them little something there. And you know, to watch back and thing when you're not around till you come back again and all this. When all he's doing really, and women are still falling for that. Especially when you have so much to lose. It's not like you just wake up and go join the police force in Jamaica. It's hard to get in. And now to have done your time in, served in the ranks, moved up the ranks, and you are now considered high ranking, and then some backroad movie drop with you in it while you're high ranking. And you can tell it's not an old video. She looked just exact the same, just like Kirby. So, which is what we're supposed to be talking about. All right. So let's get to the Kirby and Majah Hype something. Now, that's supposed to talk about. Shout out to the officer. You're not afraid. You satisfy your man, or at least it seems like it. And it's just sad that it got out. I'm pretty sure that you did not want it out, but to say it's not you, this isn't like the politician guy and the woman. It's you, my girl. Film video grainy. Your video not grainy. Your video is in HD. 1080 HD. All right. Be careful what y'all doing. Okay? If you have a freak out, especially if you either have a man already and it's some cheating thing where you do, or if you just doing it to do it. Cause you want to satisfy yourself, and you know, you see a long tree you want to climb and these kind of things. Go ahead and do your thing. But please remember that we live in modern times. Technology is very advanced. Cameras can be anywhere. You got cameras that can fit in a button on a shirt and can record white space, a whole room. So stop with the foolishness and stop playing victim. A lot of you put yourself in these positions and then you play a victim later. That camera was so close. She had to have known that it was there. So from your making it, understand that it can go out to the public. And then you must ask yourself, when it goes out to the public, what am I going to do? Although someone crazy up there, someone probably said, me not care. Me deal with that when it comes. And then when it comes, you can't deal with it. All right? So Officer, whatever her name is, more power to you. Do you think? Do you think? So, Majah Hype. Boy, we have to talk about that one, yeah. People that say. She said, man, no, man. I collected 7 pages of notes yesterday from this. Me sit down and watch it. Start to ending. And I collected 7 pages of notes. Scribbled down what I wanted to say. Can I tell you that when I got ready last night and I set up for this morning show, my 7 pages of notes missing. I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went. Me asked feet, and I was told, me not touch your something, me never take up your something, go look for your something for yourself. So I don't know where it's at. But then disappear, but I think I have good memory. Okay. So she goes on a show. This is Kirby. She goes on a show, which is Tasha K. And you know, Tasha K is basically a gossip. They're labeling her as the new Wendy Williams. She is on her way to being the new Wendy Williams. If you remember when Wendy Williams was on Hot 97 in New York, some of y'all don't even know how people started out. Well, the history of Wendy Williams is she was telling people business, quote unquote, or exposing people, quote unquote, or digging up dirt on people and giving it to the public, whether it was true or false. It got her a lot of hate. It got her a lot of drama. Enough people wanted to drag her, but it ended up being, it got her fame and money as well. So that was her journey. All right. Tasha K is something similar like that. That is what her platform is. She's pushing up on almost 1 million views by 1 million subscribers by now. So her platform is pretty huge. Watch that video. It didn't change my mind about what I said before. My general consensus of the whole relationship between her, because we've heard now, Majah Hype spoke, right? And Hype said he was going to speak once on it, let everything out, and him not say nothing again. He's not going to be going back and forth trying to rebuttal every accusation. He laid it all out there, and in his speech, I watched everything. Unlike Tasha K, who I said I felt seemed biased from the beginning of the interview. There was one point where she said, yeah, because I remember when he put out, he was on live for like 3 hours. I only watched about 20 minutes of it. But I know he was lying. How do you watch 20 minutes of 3 hours and know that somebody is lying? That's like reading 10 pages out of a book that has 300 pages, or 20 pages out of a book that has 300 pages, and now you're doing a book report because you know the whole book. You understand? So the bias was there from the beginning, and I also took into consideration the type of platform that it is. These females don't have no love. And a lot of them don't have any love for the community that Majah Hype represents or comes from. You know, the whole Yankee against Caribbean people, Yankee against this and that, and that uncomfortable area that nobody really wants to dabble in, but it's true and it exists. So it was one of those platforms, and I took into consideration all that. Then take into consideration the triggered. A lot of women were triggered, and they're triggered and they want revenge. See, a woman that's been through some real she wants revenge. And if she can't get revenge on the person that put her through that, or the multiple guys that she went with that put her through that, you know, some woman, every man them go with that same story. And then at the end of the day, she still can't see that she has a part to play in what's happening. Because how do I never ask yourself, how do I keep choosing the same person or the same guys? Or how do I keep ending up in the same situation? Everything has to do with you. Everything that happens in your life has to do with you. Everything that happens in your life has to do with you. And as long as you are over, say, let's put it at 18, as long as you're over a certain age, your adult age, let's say that then it is also in your power, some way, somewhere, to find a better way, to escape the situation, to do it. Listen, that girl talk about, she gave one story, one of the story them was, we're going to talk about the other part of where he wanted me to hurt him. Mr. What kind of hurt? You see me, Adam? Mr. What kind of hurt? He wanted me to penetrate him. I said, what? Okay, we're not talking about that yet. She told a story. And I don't know if people cannot pick sense from nonsense. Now, I am not, let me get this clear. I am not on Majah Hype side. That's why I said what I said before does not, that interview did not change my general consensus of the whole situation. I'm going to go back to that by the end of this. I'm done talking, but I'm going through it. She gave a story, right? She was trying to give a story about how Majah Hype invited this girl over, and he apparently wanted a threesome, but she didn't know. And then when she found out that he wanted a threesome, that it was like, she's not really into this kind of stuff because she's not used to this kind of stuff, and how I guess the girl was paying her more attention or something. And she was like, oh, and he just get up and just punched her in the chest. You at my house, you in front of my woman. She said the children were upstairs. And I just asked for a threesome and then just get up and just punch a woman in her chest up and punched her so hard. And then I was like, what are you doing like this? And you punched me in the stomach. And I ran and locked myself in the bathroom, and then he came in there, and like, if you're going to tell the story and be credible, tell every part of the story. Otherwise, people with sense can say either this is not true or there's so much more to this that she is still not saying, because why do a tell all and then don't tell all? So it's a madman this. It's a rotted madman this. I should have put on my shirt because I bomb buckler. It's a rotted madman this. Him just get up and just woof in the girl. And then boom, boom in your belly. And you have to run. And I was on the floor for the longest and I couldn't move, and then I get up and run. Okay, she tell that story, right? In that same night when all this is going on, kids upstairs, and these ain't no small kids. She mentioned even ages of 15 and so on. I tried to get out the house. Now we're talking about a former cop who, by the way, said on Tasha K's show that she is going to be a cop again. She's going back for her badge because she loves her people. Her mom's a retired cop, according to what she said, and her dad's a retired cop. And now she's a cop. Anyhow, in that same instance, punch out of nowhere, punch out of nowhere. She said after locking herself in the bathroom and all this, and then go so she got there, so she decided to make a run for it. I got about 4 steps out the door, Tasha K, before he grabbed me by my hair and back of my clothes, draw me back in, right? Flung me so hard to the ground, she feel like she broke up. She's stuck on the ground. She's hurting. Me says, and he's very big, right? Tasha K says, he's very big, right? He's a big guy. And she goes, yes. And I'm very small. Okay. Same night, right? Made a run for it again. This time I got out the house, down the street. Listen to this if you have no rotted sense. I got 5 houses down and fell asleep on the neighbor's lawn. So you mean to tell me this mad rotted man would have started drill people, blowing a girl chest, bam in your belly, drag you by your hair, fling you away. You ran and didn't get away. 4 steps out the door. Yeah, come back, your girl. Run upon the ground. Ran for it again and got away. And you made it 5 houses down in the same neighborhood and fell asleep. You just ran and just on the neighbor lawn. And I stayed there till the next morning. When I woke up, it was the next morning. And I walked back to the house. You walk back to the house after that. You couldn't walk 5 more houses down. Yeah? You couldn't walk 5 more houses down. You couldn't call the police like a police you are. I mean, that was a simple 911. Okay, I left my phone. The phone is in the house. You could have run to the neighbor house and licked on the door. Hello, hi. My child is in there. I think my child's in danger and this man is trying to kill me. I just got punched so hard in my belly and flung to the... Nothing. You ran and got 5 houses down and fell asleep on the lawn. When I heard that part of the story, I had to look to make sure that's what I was hearing like this. Nobody Ross is the sense in this. Honestly, watching the movie, it was a Ross movie. Watching the movie, I was like, okay, so what's the purpose of this interview other than to humiliate him and to really drag him down? So I'm trying to find like, okay, is she going to reveal some stuff that we haven't heard already? Because we've heard all this before, right? She tells the next story about the house was full of guests. So there's a whole lot of people out there who apparently witnessed. They got into an argument upstairs while they were getting ready for a barbecue downstairs. And then just start flinging our stuff down the stairs and everybody just stood there and watched it. She talked about how her son came to her and said, oh, she said Majah Hype's children must be used to stuff like this. That's why they didn't come out of the room. Oh, and her son came out and he was standing by the door with a stick while Hype was on her, a rough her up, right? Beating her. And her son came out and he stood by the door with a stick like this. And she opened the door. And he said, oh, go back to bed. Your mom in here trying to fight me. What? Oh, go back to bed. Your mom in here trying to fight me off. Or trying to fight me. This not add up. It doesn't add up. Even if you want to pick her side, it doesn't add up. You have common sense. You're not running for your life and get 5. Were you injured? Were you shot and bleeding, losing blood? Why? Oh, you just pass out, so 5 houses down? When adrenaline up and you running for your life, me I run 50 houses straight. They're probably gonna be like, you could have called an Uber, or you could me run, come here. So she just went 5 houses down and just sat down and then fell asleep on the neighbor's lawn. Running for your life, 5 houses down. And then she told another story about after all that and the rough up and beat up again, she got out of it and drove 8 hours to some place. I don't remember where she drove to, if it was Florida or wherever. She drove 8 hours to some place. And then he called, and then it was her birthday, and he wanted to spend her birthday weekend with her. This is somebody you're running from, cop, police, lady. This is somebody you are running from, right? And you got 8 hours away, and he called. And he wants to spend your birthday weekend with you and all this. And he came, he flew in. And we had a wonderful time. This don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. What bothers me about all this is this. Plain and clear. None of us was there. Them two people here was obviously in a dysfunctional, rotted relationship, right? None of us was there. So who are we on the outside of such an intimate relationship to actually take side and say, yeah, I believe everything you say, my girl, and I don't believe nothing what him said? Or who are we to say, I believe everything you say, Hype, not believe nothing what the lad girl say? Who are we? It's two of them in the thing. Two of them in the thing. I'm watching the Kirby interview, and man, it was biased. It was one-sided. It was definitely to humiliate him. When she talked about how she said he used to, this some, what word name? Sadomasonistic type of, she said when he would hurt me, like punch me and beat me up, he would start to, like, he would take my hand, like, and like, because we would have sex after, and he would take my hand and he would put it there, and tell me to penetrate it and do it harder and hurt me. And this was his way of saying, I'm sorry. Me can find a lot more way to say sorry other than take your finger and ram it up in my body hole. That's all me can say. But the picture that she's trying to paint though, right? That he would beat the daylight out of her and then he would want her to mash up in back part. You know, we have to talk in a court sometimes. That's why I love the pop thing. You see what I'm saying? So, because YouTube is very stringent these days, you can't have conversations about certain things and be outright just descriptive. They will flag your videos. So, a man beat you up and then want you ram out in back part because it's painful, and that's how he wants you to get your revenge back on him for what he did to you earlier. It took her that long to plan that? No, seriously. Because it's been a while. For them thing happened a while ago. Right? Nobody wasn't paying attention. People were starting to forget who, well, you can't forget who Kirby is if you've seen the videos. But other than that, people been forgetting. Like, people moved on. People wasn't studying. Nobody was asking, where is Kirby? So the more I watch the video, I'm like, this is to humiliate him. This is to degrade him. And Kirby knows, she knows that in a Caribbean culture, if you're Trini, you're going to say, boy, that man have man playing in the Bamsi. If you're Jamaican, you're going to say, yo, man in your back part, brother. Why? So them know. She knows that's one of the ways right there. What's the first thing Jamaicans tell you one time, man, I said them at this man? Your big body boy, move from around yourself. Body boy is always have to do with body, don't? And that's a big diss, you know. So anything about body and playing a body is like, yeah. Knife, gun, why, bye. That's just the culture. Man, we even tell her, yo, I'm gonna run fishing joke, I'm gonna run about to do a crown and a dog. Not even joke, I'm gonna run about them thing there. So she knows the culture very well. She's a cop. If she's been a cop, she has to study demographics. She has to know what ticks in the Caribbean community. There's a huge Caribbean community in Houston where she was a cop. They don't just turn you in a cop and throw you out in the road, you know. You get certain ethics training. Plus being with Hype, I think she knows that as well. Then here goes Tasha K now. This is how I know it was biased as hell on one side. And Tasha K was like, you know what I think? You know what I think? I don't really want to say it, but I think something, you don't really want to say it, but you're out with it. I think something happened to him when he was a little boy, you know, like he probably got touched or something, like not quote unquote, but in that line. And so he has a genuine like hate for women. And then she alluded to the fact that, you know, some of these guys, they're mad at women because they have to live this undercover life. That's what they're trying to paint for Hype, is that him is a undercover Batman. And that them I try to say the man is. And Tasha K act like she slipped, but she put it out there. The source is saying no audio. My audio or your audio? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Because somebody says no audio and it might be their issue and not mine. Yes, Laurel Newman picked the wrong girl. You know me, I laughed to myself yesterday and I don't know why I said it, but pardon me, hey, fat girl need loving too, and someone is sexy and beautiful. Jano, but it was just a joke. I don't know what we do already. We take serious thing, make jokes. So I said to myself, I said, boy, sometime, you know, I'm big fat church sister. Would I do you like right for life, you know? But you see, trying that you want now. You see, she have to hot now. And you see, this have to up and that have to look, and she have to inner the hotness. You end up attract some things into your life where beer sufferation follow. You know? Beer sufferation follow. Thanks for the feedback, fam. So it's not my sound. It's not my sound, family. Fix your sound. Nature man, want go on. Manners and respect. So yeah, man. But the thing she challenged, and then they made him out to be, let me tell you, in the state in which he lives, they talked about expunged records, about him have, not expunged, sealed. They talked about sealed records and molestation charges of some little girl. I'm saying, if the record is sealed, why is it a conversation topic? And why now? And what does that have to do with you? Because if that exists, it existed before you. See? She went on to talk about how, oh, and she's still lying and taking it to the, yo, the gal, wicked, she's still lying and taking it to the grave. And I still say, yo, Kirby need a trophy. I don't know if it's quite an Oscar, but she need a trophy. She came back and said, what is about him? I'm still saying, I still maintain I had never cheated on him. Never. Here, Tasha K now. Yeah, but even if you did, even if you were hoeing, like it wouldn't get. That's the type of stuff y'all do. Normalize hoeing and then talk about even if you hoeing, so what? It didn't give him the right to do any. Okay, listen. If you're a free single and want to mingle and intermingle and engage and all that, that's your business. But hoeing cannot be done if you're in a monogamous relationship, right? So if you're going out and she went all the way out, need not be descriptive. We've seen the videos. These videos weren't you just take a one ride and you go about your business. We saw you in a come bucket position, like, you know, man put it on your knee and beat it on your face and, you know, slap you on your face and slap you on your face. How we know say no one of them videos that you get the black eye from? Because it's the same picture that's going around still. The one black eye. The one black eye. But I'm not trying to justify anything. I'm just saying. Remember we talked about how we accept and accept and accept and then normalize. So what if you were hoeing? And a part of me wanted to say, yep, that's Black American culture right there. But I won't do that because that would be generalizing. And there are a lot of Black American females that are very faithful in their relationship when they are in a relationship and these kind of things. So I don't do the generalization stuff, you know, not only to be politically correct, just to be correct, period. Because I don't want anybody going away saying this big Jamaican flag was behind him and you was over there talking about Black American females. And that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. There are those that stay one way and those that stay another way. So if this ain't about Black American female, it's about this particular female. And he's suicidal in the state that Majah lives in. It's not too far from my state. Georgia, right there. All right, my kids live in Georgia. I go pick them up, shoot it. It's a 16-hour drive. If I do it straight, I call it a gangster ride or a soldier ride because I do it straight, right? I rest up the day before. I get up early and I drive in. I go get them and we do the scenic route back. You know, road trip with the boys, that type of stuff. We're allowed to carry guns. Even without a gun license, you can have guns on your property. It's just constitutional rights. And then we are allowed to do permits and conceal carry. She knows what she's doing, painting him as a suicidal maniac. He will put the gun to his head and he'll be shaking and crying. And numerous times I had to take multiple guns out of his hand. In other words, they're telling you that he has a lot of different guns because numerous times I took multiple guns. She laying her case out. She a police. Yeah, I'm nothing wrong with being a police, but let's not forget that it's a part of her makeup. So you think she's not going to apply what she knows when she is pressing? They're trying to get this man guns taken away. They're trying to get the right for him to actually have a concealed weapon taken away. Because she's painting him as somebody that's suicidal, might even be on the verge of homicidal. The way how she described how he nearly killed the two of we in there. All over a threesome? Yeah, that's what she's doing, Blue. She kind of like stacking the evidence, but this is not evidence. This is stacking the accusations. This is stacking the accusations. Once you stack the accusations, you start to create doubt. And that's all you need to do sometimes is to create doubt in someone else's credibility. But in the process of doing so, she's doing it to herself as well. Changing how the public hears his name. Exactly. So every time somebody hears Majah Hype, they're going to think woman abuser. And make no mistake about it. It could cross over into promoters are afraid to book shows because there's a group of females outside with picket signs that are saying you're booking a show with a woman abuser and you support women abuse and this and that. And it could affect his bottom dollar. Mrs. Nia says she's hurting him, but definitely hurting herself. I agree. So here what? So you with a man, right, that likes you to play with his back part. How do you go from that to telling that to the world? Because apparently, let's say it's real. Let's say it's real. Apparently, you did it multiple times and you went back and you stayed in a relationship with a man that liked you to play with his back part. And now that you're not with him anymore, you feel like that is something that you need to tell the world. What is Majah Hype supposed to do at this point? That is why I respect the fact that he said what he said and he left it and he said he will leave it at that and anything else after courts, whatever, we'll deal with it there. She said they're currently in the courts. Ain't no money in this for you. She's not getting no money. She's not getting no money. She wasn't damaged. What's she going to sue for? Pain and suffering? Mental anguish? She can't sue for lost wages. Even listening to her talk about how they met, when they first got together and all this stuff. They were juki jammy and on and off for years before they even actually got serious. So she was a girl where I was a fan and I met him on South Beach. I was out there with my girl and I ran up to him and the rest is history. So you were a fan that he met in Miami, and then you were booty for quite some time before you decided to make it official, right? But even describing that part of the relationship where she was like, when she moved to Georgia with him, when she finally moved, how he was just giving away all my stuff, because they were talking about, I guess, Tasha asked her, was he territorial? Like when you moved into the house, was he like, you know, this is my house and all this other stuff? And she was, when did that start? Leading, you know? And she was like, yeah, and he just gave, when he started giving away, then I give away my stuff I worked hard for and bought, like my furnitures. And I would be like, you know, I think my piece looks better here. And he was like, nah. And he would just give it away to his boys and to people. How did you just pick up and move as a cop from way over there to here? And she goes, well, he couldn't wait for me to do things the right way. No, you couldn't wait to do things the right way. This victim card is played way too often. And yes, there are women in relationships that do get abused and they're stuck in there for multiple different reasons. There are men in those same type of relationships, but we're not talking about the man them. Let's talk about the women who are in them. There are women in these type of relationships that can't leave because maybe she is financially dependent upon him, or the dynamics have changed because they have children together. So leaving isn't the same as I'm picking up and leaving one person. You know, it's like me and him beefing, but he's a good dad to the kids and these are his kids. You know, people are conflicted in those ways. And these are the dynamics that make some people stay for longer than they should. All that wasn't in their dynamics. You're an independent woman. You went to school and got into a career field that you're certified in. You have no children together. You only been living together for 2 years. And in that 2 years, like you said, it was bad from the get-go. So I can't understand you running for your life and you run 5 houses down and fall asleep. I'm sure that's the excuse she gave when he asked, so where were you last night? Say it happened, right? And you ran away. If my woman run away for the night and come back next day, broad daylight, come tell me about she fell asleep 5 houses down on the neighbor's lawn. My general consensus of their relationship did not change. It's exactly what I said it was before. I'm not take no side because I have no bones to pick in this. And for the people who are saying, yeah, you know Majah Hype, somebody said you know Majah Hype and you and Majah Hype are friend, and that's why, you know, I pick up for him because the Caribbean circle is small. And no, I don't. I don't know him. When I comment on his stuff, he actually even like other people's stuff, respond to them, skip over mine, and he does it all the time. So I don't know him like that. And he's not even interested in when I make comments. So there's no relationship here. There's no bone to pick in this fight for me. There's no dog in this fight for me. What I see here is 2 dysfunctional people, because Majah came out and said it. Tasha K over there talking about, you know what I think it is? I think it's that something happened to him. I don't want to say it because, you know, I don't want to. I think it is something happened to him in his childhood. Why? Okay, he said that already. So you didn't have to think that. He said that already. And even him describing him or telling his story of him being molested as a little boy, he got ridiculed for it. As in, there were people in the Caribbean community, like, I don't know the name of them, that were on social media talking about, oh, so that explain why I'm always to them fruity something that dress up in a wig and them thing that man play with him back part from him lick up. and them thing them. No, so them boy they have fish long time, you know. That's your response to an adult male telling you what happened to him when he was a child. So when I do videos like, yo, sex abuse is serious in the Caribbean. And a lot of people look to, oh, the little girl might get molested off or rape off. And I'm trying to tell y'all, this explosion of homosexuals all over the place, a lot of them were groomed. A lot of them were groomed. And boy picnic get raped. Boy picnic get raped off and molested off all the time. So instead of looking at the deeper issue, they turned it into, oh, I play with him back part from him little enough. The ridicule. So you wonder why these things happen. So you see some of them youth here where really out here turning up the murder rate. Don't act like we're not almost at number 400 already. Murders. You see some of the little youths that's turning up the murder rate, especially in the island of Jamaica. They've been through stuff like this. So when I say stuff like, them don't really like woman enough. That's why it's them kill off the woman, them like that and these kind of things. Or what, they don't have a way to vent. They don't have a crowd or a place they can, safe space, they can say what their experience was without being judged. Oh man, you little my youth, you're body man. I mean, how do you come to that conclusion when it's happened to a child? Yeah. So, however, she get up there and talk all that, play with him, matty stuff and all this other stuff. You stayed with him though, while he was having you do that, if that's true. So why come out and tell it now? What, is he supposed to make a video now talking about how you used to like when he put on a strap on and hit your other hole and all this? I mean, where would this go from here? We're giving out details of our sex, intimate relationship moments, like that's garbage and had nothing to do with. You see what I'm saying? But trying to put it in context, like this is something that turned him on, as if to say hurting her was something he couldn't control because he's suicidal, verge of homicidal. Even his child has taken a gun out of his hand before in front of everybody. If me really want to kill myself, no child can take no gun out of my hand. If a woman really want to run, nobody can make her stop from running. Just like if she want to give a bun, nobody can stop her all under your nose. I seen somebody left in my comment and say, SouFLo, every time Brains go Jamaica, you right there. It's like you can't let the girl make she go there by herself. You trust no shadow after dark and all these things. I'm in Jamaica because I love Jamaica. I'm not there if you watch no woman. Because the same way you can get bun there, you can get it here. You can get it everywhere. Bun here, there, and everywhere. It only takes a second. I don't know if y'all saw the video where the lady was talking about, yes, I riding him. And I ain't gonna stop riding him. Like I tell you about run by the chicken house there. You see that chicken house around there? I just go there and cock up my foot, sir. I come with no panty. And he just run up in it, bam, 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 2 times, and he broke and a gone and he gone. And you ain't knowing all that, you inside. They're telling you that it don't take much. It's fast and furious. One girl tell me about this was back in the day, tell me about this man that she was with and how he was jealous and controlling and she didn't want to leave, but she never want to leave yet and all this. Same confusing, dysfunctional foolishness. But what opened my eyes was when she said he would even time her how long it take to go to the store. Because they've been living there for a while, right? So I didn't know how long it took to reach down a Walmart and reach back to the house. So she used to say, Mom, I'm going to Walmart. She said she would swing by the park, sideman, get it quick, still go to Walmart, still come back. He knew no different. So, I don't follow around nobody. You do what you want to do. Not true? Wasted energy. I could take that energy and focus on, I made $100 today. Let's see how I can make 2. I need this money. I need to pay off all these bills. I need to leave something behind for my children. I got more other things to think about other than who is going to give me money. It's so I watched that interview, man, and I really had to ask the question, like, why the hell did she even do that interview? What was the purpose? What? Lion, SouFLoTV, you have the accent lock. Big up. Lion for TV, big up yourself. Anthony Williams said, SouFLoTV, Kirby couldn't give me one any day. Freaky girl, them me love. Well, a lot of people love Freaky Gal as well, apparently, because she was pretty spread out. All puns intended. She was pretty spread out. She was doing a thing. She was doing a thing on another level. On another level, I consume porn. I watch, and I have to search hard to find one that look like that. Cause she get it in. But hey, could you imagine your woman go out and do all that? I mean, even drink something enough. All down the gut, and come home and kiss you and I'm up. What's up, baby? You all right? You ate already? I love you. And a man just violate her face in a kind of way. Oh, these are the things that actually get men mad. It's for no them details there. But anyway, on the topic of I don't know why she did that. But see, Tasha K is about her ratings, and she's about subscribers and gaining access to a new audience and that type of stuff, and sensationalizing the stuff and all that. And I thought to myself, I was going to watch an open interview where she was going to ask the real hard questions. I don't think Kirby would give somebody like me the time of day to do an interview, because I would ask questions that would force her to actually really tell the whole story. Because I would definitely look you in the face and say, okay, so wait. So you mean to tell me you got slammed on the floor, 4 steps out the door, and you're running for your life, right? Because you're hurt and you're trying to escape, and you get dragged back in. And you're on your second attempt to escape, you made it 5 houses down and fell asleep on the neighbor's lawn? How, like, what? Something is missing here. Come on, fill me in. You're not telling the whole story. I refuse to believe that. Fill me in. And wait. So when you woke up and it was like sun shining in broad daylight and you're on the neighbor's lawn 5 houses down, you mean to tell me you went right back to the same house that you tried to run from before? Like, she wasn't asking no questions like that. She was just leading in and pretty much painting the narrative for what she knows that her audience wants to see. You understand? Somebody linked me yesterday. It was a female. You're probably on here right now. I don't normally just call out people's name. But she said, SouFLoTV, you have to cover this Kirby interview upon Tasha K, because Majah Hype is done. She just stuck the fork in him. Done. I said, I am going to cover it. I don't think he's done, though. So I'm covering it now, and I'm saying it now. I don't think he's done. These are ghastly accusations, of course. This thing is getting old. It was a frigged up relationship between 2 frigged up people, and the relationship needed to end, and they drug it out way longer than they should have dragged it out, and it has ended. Somebody is jaded. At one point, she talked about living a fairy tale life. Of course, it's a fairy tale life. You don't have to work anymore. All the bills are paid. You live in a mansion in an exclusive community. Your man drives a Bentley, for God's sakes, and you have a Benz SUV or something like that. You know, you're flying out on a regular basis to attend these events and all these other things. He's whining and dining and wooing you. Even when he's on the road and you're not, although the bills are paid, he's sending you, as he gets paid, pocket money in the hundreds and then the thousands. And you're over there and your friend them like we forgot. Remember the voice note about Paymaster, or the text message? If Paymaster is going to take care of everything, that's how her friends used to talk about him while they went out wood hunting. Paymaster is going to take care of everything. Paymaster. Somebody is jaded. The relationship is done. Certain privileges are no longer accessible. You have no more privilege to certain things. Definitely no more privilege to Because when people like Hype take on somebody, they open a whole other door for them. So you are now in the presence of other celebrities that you're looking at them and you're like, and people who flighty up here, they will lose themselves in that world. Because it's like, oh, I'm backstage. Oh shit, that's Chris Rock. Hi, Chris Rock. Oh my God, that's Kevin Hart. Hi, Kevin Hart. That's Charlamagne the God. That's Angela Yee. These are all people he's been around. So when you get pulled into that, just by association, and him being like, come with me to the show tonight. Yeah, chill backstage in the dressing room and let me go out and do the show and thing. And that relationship needed to end a long time ago. And it ended, and they just need to move the Ross on. They need to go their separate ways and call it a day. But there's nothing like a woman scorned. Now, nothing I said in this video, for the dunce people, nothing I said in this video gave a okay for a man to beat a woman. But what I did say is, what gives us the right to say we believe her and nothing he says, or we believe him and nothing she says? He accused her of being violent, breaking stuff, hitting, scratching, punching, same thing she's accusing him of. So it's just two people who like beat up each other. Them get mad, them fight. Right? They get mad, they fight. Come on, enough of y'all want to know the reality of all this. Some of them have been there before. And sometimes you're with somebody that really brings out the worst in you and draws you into a space where, you know, you're like, the fuck? I just punched her in the damn, this ain't the kind of man I'm trying to be, but bow again. And she run you and you bow again, and you're all over there fighting. Both of y'all was fighting each other. Both of you guys were fighting each other. Both of you were cheating on each other. That time when you talk about you ran away and you fell asleep 5 houses down on the lawn, it's probably when one of those videos got made. I didn't like do that to know. Boy, I beat your game bun, girl. That's like some of them, instead of saying, boy, I beat you, leave. Boy, I beat your game bun, girl. And then go back, because somehow you defiling your body like this, spreading yourself thinly over multiple men, is supposed to hurt him. Boy, I beat your game bun. Don't tell me about you fell asleep 5 houses down on the lawn. Stop it. Because if I didn't come home last night and my wife talked about, so where did that last night? I said, I fell asleep 5 houses down on the lawn. Come on, who in here would accept that from your partner? Y'all had a big fight last night. They disappeared. They came back the next day and told you they fell asleep 5 houses down on the lawn and they just woke up and walked back up to the house. Omega Brown said, war. War. I don't want to say she was about the money, Paul W. I don't want to say she was about the money, but people are enticed by this type of lifestyle. If somebody is offering you, I wish somebody could have offered me that. Please offer me to pay all the bills and everything like that. You pay all the bills, take care of everything, and me lamp around. I'll probably do that for about a year or two, stash some money up, even if I don't want to be with you. But when you get caught up in life and you start living and spending because you're thinking more is coming, and then boom, it ends suddenly. And you're like, shit, I didn't save from nothing, so I don't really have nothing. I got to go back to being a cop or go find a job somewhere else. And, you know, she's feeling damaged. She's feeling damaged. And worse, trying to date after this. There was one point where she said the man saw everything that was in her phone before. Tasha K actually said he released them to the public. It has not been proven yet. Now, there are ways that they can prove through technology who released that, if they want to get to the bottom of it. She said he saw everything that was in her phone. He used to watch them, watch other man and do them something to her, you know, and himself. So that's the excuse she came with. First, they were old, which we looked at them just like when we look on the police officer and look on the picture and compare the two right side by side. You can't say it's not you. It's either you or your twin. Well, maybe we go find your twin then, because if it's not your twin, it's you. Right? She said the man used to watch them and he was turned on by them and do things to himself while watching them. So he knew they were there. Now I'm saying to you, you in a new relationship, right? Man have access to your phone like that? Okay. You must know that these are in your phone. You're a police. You know how to go through this phone. You know how to delete what you don't want others to see in this phone. So how in the God's name, them you would have in your phone still? And me as your man now, who we've been together, say 1.5 years, going 2 years, and I pick up your phone and go into your phone and you're like, yeah, babe, 14631. And you 14631, and then you're like, oh, forget. Nah, those are things that you are not letting somebody touch your phone if you know send them that in your phone. Because how do you explain that these are old? The question still remains, why are they still in your phone though? Because we've been together for a while now, so why are they in your phone still? Not true? But she's still holding on that they were old and him used to use them and pleasure himself watching them and all this, and then him used to beat her up and make she play with him back part. I said, do it harder. Do it harder. And I guess he wanted me to hurt him, but I wasn't trying to hurt him. You know, I don't want to hurt him. But I guess this was his way of, and he said this was his way of making him feel like I'm getting my revenge. Harder. Do it harder. Do it harder. Nah, sir. What? I tell you right now, if I ever go out of character and put hands on that's not one of the ways I'm going to be apologizing. Okay? That's not one of the ways I'm going to be apologizing. It's an odd way to apologize. People are going like them, not see what going. This is nothing but a plot, a ploy to bring this man all the way down. Or you think you're just going to leave me? You think you're just going to leave me and just tarnish my name, have people out here looking at me all crazy and stuff? I can't even go back to my career because now they know me as Suckhood Kirby and all this. I'm going to clean my name up and I'm going to you up in the process. Watch this. That's what that is. Let's be for real. That's what that is. So here we are. Is the relationship done? Kirby left it. And to Majah Hype, I commend you for not saying jack about anything. Let it deal with how it's supposed to deal out in the courts, right? You have your lawyer, and you have a little evidence thing on the door, and she do what she do, and may the best man win. I mean, not like we have any faith in the justice system, because they look at you another way. They look at you like, oh, so you blackmail, accomplished all this through what means, and oh, you're one of those, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna try to shut you down anyway by using that spearhead right there. They'll gladly use her to fold him. That's a reality. But at the same time, that's my general consensus. So take on the story out of the public now. We've heard enough, and we are not hearing anything new except for the part about harder, harder. Shez Bennett, you must just be getting here. You're getting here when I'm ending the show. I'm ending the show right now. Let me end the show like this for you again. Nothing I said in this video at any point gave the right or suggests that I agree to any reason at all being a justifiable reason to hit a female. Now, I am one of those type of men that I say walk your ass away, because I'm not going to sit up here and be politically correct because everybody says. Sometimes you have to tell the truth. So this is someone who like stand up in front of man and thump the man in the face. Like the video I put up yesterday and the lady slapping with the board. I don't know if the board had a nail in it. Bah! Inside of the man's face. And these things. And he's walking away and walking her out and she had draw his shirt back and bah! And a box him up. Self-defense. You know, just a quick, like 1-2 move off of me kind of thing. That kind of self-defense. But other than that, men have the right to defend themselves against hostile females. Females kill men too. Let's put it that way. I'm not justifying any kind of beating, so don't put me this up. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm the person that tell guys to run. Okay? If it comes to that, run. Run. Just bolt, because there's no way they're going to make you look like you're the innocent one simply because you are a man already. Then if you're big, they're going to talk about, but look how big you are. You're 6'5". Look at her. She's 5'4". Well, what could she have possibly have done to you? So just run. But when lick catch you, some people's natural reaction is to hit back. That's why I tell people, don't put your hands on me because there's going to be an instant reaction. Like my reflexes are quick. I'm in power already. So as soon as you, it's going to be like, oh, damn, I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have hit you like that. But damn, you shouldn't hit my face like that. You know what? Let's part ways. That's what it's going to be for me. It's not going to be blow and, okay, I'm leaving. My hand might automatically reach out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking about whole girl and beat her, cuff her, thump her in her belly, make she run in the bathroom and lock up herself, drag her by her hair, fling her down. I'm not talking about all that. You don't have to do all that. Leave. The same way she could have left. Multiple times. Wasn't nobody holding her hostage. At no point did she ever say he was one of those people that would stalk her after she left. So you are free to go. You are free to go. You came back willingly. Sometimes people leave certain situations, you know, and they're like, oh, I wonder who over there swimming in the pool now. Because where they at right now, shacked up with everybody in the house. I'm back at mama them house. Daddy here talking his shit. Mama here, my sister here, my brother here. I'm used to my own space, man. I go downstairs to the fridge at 2 in the morning, get me some cold fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? Go back upstairs. I could finish a bottle of wine by the pool by myself. All this be in my zone. I don't like this. I can't stay here. I wonder who else is over there now. So me, I go back. Come I can't make them in my space. I want that space. That's the type of stuff that gets people going back and going back. Especially situations like those. If him beat her, him did wrong. She beat him too because that's what he said. And if I believe her, I'm believing him as well. Balance. Which cancels out everything. Wasn't no broken bones, no nothing. Move on with life. Count it as an experience that you had in a messed up relationship and stay alone long enough to fix yourself so you don't attract the same energy again when you start a new relationship after this. That's it. That's it. I don't have nothing bad to say about the girl. I don't know her like that. I say what she said. And I say what he said about him and her. Balance. Vita says they're toxic as I feel sorry for the children that had to live in that house with so much abuse. Well, none of the kids are speaking about it. And I mean, eventually they might, because you know how the world go already. But I'm sure it is what it is at this point. At this point, people don't really care about the kids half of the time. When them something that go on in the house, people don't think about children. They don't care about children. They care about satisfying their own ego. They care about how they feel. You know what I mean? Dredgio Ramos says the woman pulling at straws. And she might just get something pulling at straws from because this is America. Things set up kind of different. Makeda X-Ward says, I once threw a chair at my husband. That motherfucker flung it back. He does play cricket. That would laugh. The man fling back the chair because he's letting you know that he's not going to stand for that. Right? You get violent with somebody that you live with. How do you go to sleep? I don't know if it's me and the army stuff and all that. You know, I got issues. Combat war veteran, all that. So if me and you arguing, I got to sleep in a room where there's a lock on the door. And I'm locking the door when I go to sleep in that room. And I'm sleeping lightly. Nobody not stop me up in my sleep. And then tomorrow talk about, I don't know why I did it. No. I'm sleeping in a room with a lock on it. So I don't know how people go through all these things. And then she said they had sex after. All that drag down, beat down, punch up, run away, come back and sex after. No. But people put themselves as adults, right? I'm going to close this video right now. Everybody have a nice day. But let me end the video by saying this. Let's be responsible as adults. Let's own up to what we do. Let's take responsibility for our share of what we contribute to foolishness when foolishness is happening in our life. Let's stop acting like woe is me and the world falls on me only and everything was happening to me and it was that person that did everything and I contributed nothing at all. I was just so innocent and so little. Oh my God. Stop. Stop. I don't know who needs to hear it, but stop it. You are playing a part, okay? You don't like it, get away from it. You like it, can there enjoy your life. I'm going to leave that right there. Big up to everybody that tuned in this morning. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. All right. I hope you take something out of this because somebody right here, right now is going through the same exact thing. Them poof, cough, quiff up them partner this morning, or their partner poof, cough, quiff them up, or them crash up, thump up each other, and they're going to be making love later on in the week, or probably later on tonight after them come on, come. I'm sorry, I'm black up your eye like that, but come on, you make me do them thing that yeah, baby. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Stop the foolishness. All right? I'm out. Peace.